Hi there, everyone. Welcome back. Great that you've come back again. If you're new here, thank you for returning. It means a lot. This is the space where we explore mental health, and that's because of who I am. I'm an integrative psychotherapist, but I also am learning tarot, and it's a great tool for mental health, I think, and creation, being creative. If you hear any noise in the background, bear with me. It's just what's going on outside. And drinking some water here. I've been doing some research about water. Obviously, you may have heard of those experiments where you talk positively to water. So what I've been doing is when I have water, a cup of water, a bottle of water, I take the opportunity to say really positive things to it. For example, water, we appreciate you. You cleanse our cells, you rejuvenate our brains, you give us ideas, you keep us fresh, you keep us adaptable, hydrated, you're for cleansing, you're for swimming through, cooking with, cleaning ourselves, hydrating us. We really appreciate you. Nothing but love for you, water. You are powerful and we appreciate you. That positivity, I'm gonna now drink it. Yeah. So let's get on with today's reading. So, what I wanted to share was the subject for today: energy offenders. Energy offenders fighting crimes. Well, are they though? Something it came to me. Something I was listening to about developing your psychic abilities. I must find the name of that video and I'll link it into the description. If I don't find it before we leave this, yeah. So, in fact, let me find the name. Let me find the name. Uh, Fernando Maron, psychic development class. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And he mentioned a phrase that jumped out at me: energy offenders. And yeah, I started to think about what that meant for me. And I thought about what that might meant for you. And I thought about how it could share, how I could share that into some sort of teaching today. But via my intuitive side, our connected consciousness, our higher selves, your intuitive sides, any messages that spirit wants to impart with us today. And when I say spirit, I mean things beyond the 3D realm, the positive things. However, there are negative things there, and if there's negative things that need to come up, then you can't ignore them because they're just going to keep on coming back, quite frankly. So, we all have to learn how to cleanse ourselves, spiritual hygiene. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, spiritual hygiene. And energy offenders, yeah, I thought, let's ask spirit what comes up with regards to that topic. And today, what I've been doing, I've been mixing these two decks together. I did it. It just came to me one day. I mixed them together. One's red, one's blue. Right? They have different quality cards, material. They're both very, very good decks, but they both have different textures of feel. And so it took me a while to really shuffle them in nicely. And once I did, something came to me to do a reading for myself yesterday, and it was very interesting. So what I'm going to do is pull 7 cards about energy offending. See what spirit has to say from that. See what I can pick up from that. See what I read into that. And if it resonates with someone here, then that's fantastic. If it doesn't resonate for you, then it's not for you. It's okay. You come back another time or watch another reading. We have success at the bottom here, which is what I'm wanting this to be, but it might be for somebody, and it could be about your success. Yeah, so let's start off with what is an energy offender? Let's give these a shuffle and ask for the truth. We're talking the truth. We only want of the highest white light, things that will take us to our highest vibrational timeline that we can experience what we need to experience in this life to grow and elevate our souls. Yeah, and that we are protected and guided through our journey of spiritual discovery. And we learn things that will bring us to our highest vibrational timeline. Yeah, so some of these cards are falling out a bit. This one wants to pop out, so what is this one? Time. Right, interesting. We're starting with time. Let's see what comes through with that. Okay. Time. So, yeah, how's everyone been? What has been going on in your lives? I've been feeling a lot better. I'm doing this I've just picked this up and started shuffling this the wrong way round. But is it? Let me continue. My hand's done that for some reason. Yes, so what's your week been like? Has it been good? Let's have a little check-in. Can you think of something new you learned about yourself? Well, that might have come out this week. I don't want to go for all of these. All we have here, jealousy. Time, jealousy, energy offenders. So the topic is energy offenders. We've already got some things that can be quite contentious topics. Ooh, full moon. This card has been coming out. This card's been coming out a lot. I mean, this week, the last 2 weeks, this thing here been coming out. It's been coming out a lot. Full moon. Okay. So full moon. I'll check what's going on with the moon and stuff, to be honest. So I've not been up to speed with my astrology of late. Yeah, okay. So we have 3 cards there. Yeah, so how's your week been? Good, I hope. Mine's been good, peaceful. I had this cold that was lingering. Well, it went through its purpose. It stayed the time that cold would typically stay, and it left. I felt, just woke up one day, felt much better. I haven't been affected, thank goodness, by some of the recent health illnesses that have occurred over the last 5 to 6 years. I am thankful for that. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what this 4th one is. Oh, boundaries. Hey, we're talking about energy offenders. I think it's going to be a good read. We're getting some juicy cards. Time, jealousy, full moon, boundaries. Let's see what's popping with that. What is this one? Success again. Look, it's come back again. Okay. Right, we're on to something. I hope so. I hope this message is for somebody. I hope this message is helpful for somebody. I'm just getting excited because I find this stuff. It's like going on a journey. You know? A mystical journey. Psychic. A mystical journey. Psychic. Yep. This is a lovely purple. I like purples. I like to notice the colour schemes of the cards as well. We've got okay, these fell out, so we're going to go for these. So we've already got 2, 4, 6. I wanted 7, but we've got 2 extra ones. So let's see what the 7th one is. Healing chaos. We are talking about energy offenders today. Healing chaos. Oops. Oh, there you go. The card, the tornado wanted to jump out of the card. I flip out my hand and do all kind of drama. But Today we are going to talk about healing that. So yeah, don't be triggered. Well, if you are, I'm sorry. My intention isn't to trigger anyone with my excitement. Action. This card has water. This is a wave splashing up against, well, the shore, I think. It's powerful, isn't it? Action. The art depictions in these cards are very deep. Let's put these two cards separate and, oh, grounding. Yeah, I wrote something about grounding just before starting this recording, actually. I was doing a bit of meditating, contemplating, and grounding. I wrote that down. So when it comes up in the read, I'll refer back to this card. So let's keep these two over here. So what we're going to do today is something different. I'm going to I'm going to read through this whole deck, one card after another, and kind of flow with it like a freestyle thing. I've got my music chilling in the background. I just had a drink of water. I'm vibing. You get me? So let's go for it, because I done this yesterday, just shuffling these cards along. I got a nice read. Why I like using, this is Oracle cards, by the way. I've talked about tarot before. This is Oracle. So I'm going to do an Oracle reading. This is an Oracle reading, guys. You are tuning into an Oracle reading. What I'm doing is, apart from entertaining myself, I'm putting a bit of sage. This is just to kind of clear the air, even though it's smoky, to clean the air energetically, like to kind of neutralize. Yeah, in my mind, that's how it works. Like, you don't know what you don't know, so sometimes you can't see things. It doesn't mean it's not there. It doesn't mean it's not there just because you can't see it. So I still want to break these up a little bit more. Right, let's go. So, yes, spirit, higher self, higher beings, angels, ancestors, archangels most high, mother and father of the divine of all of us, the aspects of the feminine and the masculine, the power of the most high, the universe, big things. We want to vibrate our way to our highest vibrational timeline by walking with integrity. There has to be a way to reach affluence with purity. We need to start doing other things with our time on this earth other than wars and destructions and conflicts. Let's try something different, because we've been trying that a long time and I'd say it's not really working. So let's try something else, okay? And let's see what Spirit has to say. So, energy offenders, what do you have to say, Spirit, about the theme here? Let's read this one first before we start pulling from this. So time, it's going to take time. We have to understand about the time we have on earth. Understand your time that you have on earth. And this is number 41, which is a 5. 5 is about change. But in and of itself, 41, the age 41. Now, you can't say that by this age, this, by that age, that. No, but there are some things in life that can be milestone-based ages. And I'd say about 41, from my experience, that would be a milestone-based age where you'd start to take your life seriously, because the last 5 years you would have been in your 30s and you would have had a rough idea about where you're heading. So do you want to continue on that path, or are you wanting something new? And so what I'm suggesting is a milestone type age is 41 for some who are blessed enough to live that age and beyond, because there's so much more beyond. But it's like these pinnacle ages. You know, you get an age like about 30, 16, 21. You know, something that makes you pause and have a look and see if this is the way you want to continue, because you still have time to change things. 41 is not old. Yes, if your thinking is 41 is old, 41 is not old. that's something that might need to shift in someone's thinking, because you can restart at any point. At any point you wake up, you've got breath, there's opportunity. So something, I feel the need to say that. Maybe that resonates for somebody with regards to a point in time. And I referenced it to age. Jealousy. Well, definitely by 41, you should have, these words shoulds, I know they're pretty strong, but I'm just going to flow with what's coming out of my mouth here. Should have an idea of who's jealous of you and who's not. You should be able to read the room at 41. You should be able to read the room. Because this eye here is peeping, a peeping. This eye is peeping the room. This eye is trying to read the room. And they're being jealous. So perhaps this is about jealousy in our own minds or jealousy in that of others. But by 41, I'm picking up something about the number 41 being about a time at which being able to understand how this can affect one's life. Even if it's still not resolved, there's plenty of time to resolve it. There's nothing wrong with that. And perhaps by the full moon, perhaps a message about jealousy is going to come up in somebody's life around the full moon. Let me see when the next full moon is, because it's nice to have dates, things in mind. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Next full moon. Today's date is, I'm recording this on the 12th of February 2025. The next full moon is Wednesday the 12th. What, today? Full moon. What, today? Don't tell me I timed it right. Because something just made me come to do this reading today. It looks like there's a full moon today. The next full moon will be Wednesday the February the 12th. Which is today. Okay. See, Spirit be syncing things up. Okay, so this reading's for today, and it's come up for today, and I'm going to post it for today then. So it needs to be, someone needs to hear this today. Maybe even me. Right, what we got here? So this is about energy offenders. Energy offenders. Today. Something about today regarding energy offenders. Boundaries. Okay. So boundaries. 26. This is a fierce looking. This thing looks like they mean their boundaries. They got boundaries and they're about to assert what their boundaries are. And boundaries are good. Boundaries can be positive and negative. You know, sometimes boundaries need reevaluating. Sometimes boundaries need to remain in place. Sometimes they need reevaluating. Back to the pinnacle, like the milestone ages, by perhaps 41, the number 41 means something with regards to boundaries, having a lesson and understanding about boundaries. It doesn't have to relate to that particular number, 41, by the way. If it doesn't, it could be that it's something else. It's just if I repeat something, like I've mentioned 41 more than once, it's because it's coming through my head. However, my head's somewhat neurodiverse, so I can think of something a lot. And I will determine whether it's something that's worth pursuing or letting go. So I just wanted to have a message about the number 41. If it doesn't mean something for you, it doesn't mean that this reading's not for you. It just means that there is someone in there who the number 41 does mean something to. If it doesn't mean something to you, 41, the rest of the reading might. So don't worry about that. Success. Okay, what I like about this card is the word success is pretty positive. This leopard, all the back here, you might not be able to see because of the lighting. There's like a cockatoo, like a tropical bird here, this leopard, and it's success. And I always see this picture as it being that this leopard is a successful leopard. It can walk through its domain and just chill. It's friends with the cockatoo. This cockatoo ain't scared of this. They're friends. And success is about, and there's something about two here. Two souls. A bird and a cat. Two souls harmonizing. Something about success, being able to walk through your territory in comfort. That being success. because success isn't always about monetary gains. It's beyond monetary gains. Are you the king and queen or emperor or empress of your domain? Are you walking through your land and your landscape pleased and at peace and just chilling and happy within your heart? That's success. That's what I get from that card. Psychic, yes. And I think these are gifts. So we need to be thankful for having these gifts. If people feel that they have psychic abilities but feel too cringe to talk about it, or think it only belongs to people who can call themselves a prophet or prophetess, they have to be a part of this or that, then you're missing the gift that we all have. We were all given this. It's something that just needs working on. And if you have gotten to a point in your life where you've discovered that you've not spent much attention to this side of yourself, you can always build it back. It's like it's still there. It's just that it's something that needs to be worked on. We all have it. And there's something, for me, I like this colour. I mentioned the colour before. Think of colours that you like. Maybe the colour purple means something to somebody. Psychic's about being intuitive thinking, and messages, guidance. Number 48. So that reduces to 12. Is that right? Which would be a 3. Okay. So 3 is about creation. We've got healing chaos. Ultimately, energy offending would be something to do with healing chaos. This is a hurricane here. Very powerful, but the things around it are butterflies, and they don't seem to be getting swept up in the destruction of the chaos of the hurricane. They seem to be intact, and they're so fragile, you see. But so there's a message here for us about healing chaos and energy offenders. So what's an energy offender? And these two we'll come back to at the end. Action, what action to take with regards to getting grounded? Yeah, because this can be our solution. We'll come to that back for our solution and see what naturally comes, well, from here. So something about milestones in life, being able to read the room of jealousy, something by the full moon, boundaries being important, to us for our success. Boundaries will be important for our success, perhaps. And psychic knowings, understandings, acceptance in oneself of one's psychic abilities can heal chaos. Yeah, rather than make chaos. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Forgiveness. It's a man or a woman or a person reaching up to the heavens. Forgiveness. Energy offending. Yes, when we have felt somebody's done something and we've got to work on forgiving them, it's because someone's offended our energy. Is it not? Is it not? When you think about having to forgive somebody, it's because someone's affected you. Let's see what we've got here. Divinity. Okay, this could be about getting guidance. Number 20. Getting guidance for forgiveness. Going forward, to go forward. Forgiveness is about going forward. Definitely is. It's not about going backwards. That's where people can get confused with forgiveness, because it could mean that people might be thinking, oh, if I need to forgive this person, that means I've got to accept them back. You don't. You can just forgive somebody and keep it moving in the direction you're going with. They don't have to come with you. You can just forgive them and they can stay where they're at. You can still keep going. This has a path all the way through. There's many adventures that are going to go on in this path. The person you forgave might just end up standing here and the path is carrying on for you. They've got their own path another place, you know. So we've got this, let's see. Change, because forgiveness is about change and the journey is about change. Courage, it does take courage. It will take courage to do it. Because change is not easy. People are going to be looking at you thinking, what? Why are they doing that? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, new moon. Hey, this moon thing, what I'm getting is something to do with cyclical behaviour. Moons are cyclical. They come out, they're in a cycle, they come in the system, they have a system. There's a new one, there's a full one. So maybe noting the time, or mapping out your forgiveness path. If there's something you need to forgive, even if it's about forgiving yourself, relief, because forgiveness, it brings relief. Now, it's somebody's personal choice if they want to forgive somebody. There's no pressure. There's no pressure to forgive somebody, but ultimately, you would be, the motivation behind it would be something like this: relief. Is it going to be relief for yourself? Because that's what it ultimately needs to be. If it's going to relieve you, because you're the one with the power to offer the forgiveness. Or if this is a reading for somebody who feels that they, on the other way around, it's someone else's energy I'm reading, and that they are either contemplating forgiveness or they need forgiveness, or someone they're thinking about needs forgiveness. The theme is forgiveness. Let's see where it resonates for you. Divine masculine. Okay, perhaps this is about a divine masculine with regards to forgiveness. Divine masculine principles. It's the masculine energetic signature. There's the opposite, which is divine. Okay, look, I was going to say it's to do with soulmates. That's the next card that came out. It can be featured in a lot of soulmate talk. Divine masculine energy. Perhaps it's about forgiving your soulmate. What's next here? For a new beginning. Well, would you look at that? Is it so? For somebody. It's for somebody. It's about forgiveness for a new beginning for somebody. Because it's a voyage. Now, you need to consider this. And the new beginning might be with that person, as in a reconciliation, or it might be a new beginning for yourself in your own life without that person. It's the voyage. It's a voyage. So you need the courage for the voyage. You're still going to complete the mission with or without the person. There's two here. They're on a journey together. But when you see those documentaries, and sometimes the mama calf is taking... The mum is taking her calf to feed in some other part of the world, and on the way there, they're on a voyage because they're traveling like around the world. And on the way, there's like all kind of predators that want to yam up the baby. The mum has to teach the baby how to swim, and the baby knows how to swim. They're whales, but they, what I mean? Everybody, mum and the baby, have to fix up sharp because there's prey. They're the prey. There's predators. So, the mission has to complete. You can't get distracted by the things trying to tear you apart. There's a voyage you're on. So that's something that needs to be considered with this new beginning. It's serious. This is serious. This is a serious message for someone. Community. Okay, this is pretty. Community. The butterflies were in the healing chaos. It's like these butterflies here. There's butterflies in here. So something about the chaos in the community. Chaos in a community. Somebody's got chaos in their community. The community could be somebody's immediate environment, around where they live. Communities also need to be considered with regards to biosocial communities, ethnic groups within certain areas. That's a community. For example, I'm British, but I'm Afro-Caribbean. We have an Afro-Caribbean community within Britain, and there's a code of conduct in which we know how to move. We get it. Other people who are around us will get it, just like how other cultures will have their own. This is what I'm getting up here, something to do with cultural community. Forgiveness. 6. Okay. So yeah, let's move on. Let's see what we got here. Solitude, forgiveness. That's when you know if something really has to be forgiven, because you do need to take yourself into some sort of solitude to really think for yourself. You forgiving somebody has to be your own thought, because other people will want to influence that, but you really have to give yourself some level of solitude to think about what the right thing to do to get freedom. There's freedom in being able to think for yourself. Purity. Yes, because when you're by yourself thinking, you're not influenced by another person, their thoughts. contamination sounds like a big word. I don't mean it in like a negative text like that, but your thoughts can be influenced, let's say, by others. And sometimes it helps to strip back those influences to your simplest purity to get freedom when you're thinking about the things you need to think about. And that's what solitude can do for you. Healer, because it's healing. That's why it's healing. Time by yourself can be healing. Yeah. Taking risks. Okay, because there's decisions that need to be made. Decisions. When it's about taking risks, this involves decisions. This eagle here is making choices like, do I go that? Do I get that rabbit? Do I go back here? Do I go over that? There's two other mountains behind this mountain. Do I go back there? There's more for me there. Do I take? It's got to make choices. Taking risks, taking choices, taking risks with choices. Understanding when you're taking a risk. Understanding when you're taking a risk, because we have free will. And we can make a free will choice, but it could be a risk. But it's understanding and weighing the balance out. Ooh, to a gateway. A gateway, yes. When you take a risk, a calculated risk, or being aware that it's a risk, sometimes you have to do that with your own things. It can be a risky to change. But you can take the risk to change something about your personality for the better. You can change a negative habit that you might have for a positive one over time, and eventually it's going to open up new things, like a gateway into something new. Abundance. Perhaps behind that gateway there is abundance, and I like this. Never worrying about lacking something. Let's put this down here. I want to be able to read all of these cards. I know, pull this down here like that. Perfect. Water. Hey, just like I was saying with my water, which I'm going to pour more of right now. That is a cup half full. Half full. Yeah. Thank you, water. We appreciate you. So, this is about, purity, healing, water, drink water, be hydrated, be fluid. Water's fluidity, it adapts. Something about being adaptable for your abundance, needing to make changes, adapt things for yourself for your abundance. Transformation, which is going to bring about transformation. That is what I just described a transformation. Courage, and it will take courage. Change takes courage. That eagle taking the risk here, you see that? Courage. The risk takes courage. But I'm talking about risks to changing yourself for the better, what others might think of you, worrying about what others might think of you, seeing that risky. I'm not talking about risk about hurting yourself physically, you or another person, nothing risky like that. I'm talking about risky behaviors. I'm talking about risks as in, what would it be for you to change something about yourself positively? Yeah, that might feel risky. Yeah, I'm not talking about like bungee jump skydiving risk. And this ain't this. This is about interpersonal growth type. Or what would it be like, I always take 3 sugars in my coffee and I don't really think about my diet much. Or what would it be like to cut that out and start eating healthier? That's going to be a different. And it was risky being different. People are going to think different of me. Oh, God, I might lose what are people going to say? That kind of risk. I mean, something about that kind of risk, like behavioral risks. Okay. Got it. Protection. Okay, so you'll be protected. When you are working towards positive things for yourself, it might take time, it might be tedious, but ultimately the universe works well with people who work well for themselves. So it offers protection. Past lives, perhaps there's something antecedent about it all. Antecedent is what happened before, something that happened before. Before I said before, there was a whole load of stuff I was talking about, all of this, before I said before. So something in the past, healing something out in the past, about forgiveness. Energy offenders, people who have offended us and forgiving them because of things that have happened in the past. That's what it's about. Someone cheesed somebody off in the past. How many pasts is the past? Past lives, past eras of your life. And it's offended someone's energy. It offends our energy when people do that. It's just how it is. Right, let's go. Enlightenment, because it brings about enlightenment. Growth, we grow when we forgive. Diligent, we need to be diligent about the boundaries that we keep, who to forgive, who not to forgive. You can forgive anybody, but you still need boundaries. Stormy, because it's stormy, it makes a relationship pretty contentious when there's not forgiveness, and it's up to you if you choose to forgive somebody or not. But this is a message about divine feminine. Divine feminine perhaps needs to hear some messages about forgiveness. Yeah. Perhaps it's the divine feminine that needs to forgive her divine masculine. And I say need just because it's an easy word to say. I don't mean it like you actually need to release. It might be about releasing. Focus. Focus on the things that you want in your life, the direction you're going to get your abundance. Earth. They're here on this earth, in this life, right now. 11:11. Yeah, be grounded with earth. Earth energy, luck. Luck is on your side. Illumination. Perhaps something lucky is going to illuminate something about your path, the direction to go here for these adventures that you are going on. Power. These lightning bolts are coming down from the sky. That's power, because you have power. We have power within ourselves to make changes for ourselves. Good fortune. It brings in good fortune. Luck and good fortune. They've lined up nicely together. Do you like the greens? Lined up nicely together there, because they are connected in a way. Good fortune and lucky. Yeah, lucky I'm a bit more like, anyway. But good fortune, yeah. Transformation, because, yeah, we're talking about change, the ability to forgive. Knowledge, this is what this is about, sharing some knowledge. Protections come up again, about protection. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you like this. We've just got a little bit more to go through. Wonders. Sometimes things are just, we don't know what we don't know, so we don't know. There'll be some wonders about this adventure. Blessings will come from it. Inner peace is going to come from forgiveness, which is ultimately what you want to aim for, inner peace. Inner peace. Will it be peaceful for you? Talisman is the key. Unlocking something. And that's what forgiveness can do for those who choose to use it in their own way. It's for what somebody wants to do for their own direction in life. It doesn't have to be someone else's version of what is forgiveness. You really have to think, go get some solitude for yourself to think about what forgiveness means to you. Yes. What does forgiveness mean to you? Truth. But you have to be comfortable with the truth of it. Truth can be uncomfortable. Gratitude. Be grateful for the things that you have in your life that are going well for you. Because there will be a lot of things going well for you. And that can help with making a decision as well about forgiveness. Affluence. Yes, this is what I'm picking up on this timeline. This is I want to call it the affluence timeline, really, because this is what I'm feeling. Trust. Yes, trust. And this is how we build our intuition, by trusting our intuition. Message. Remember that? What's that Wayne's Brother film when the guy pops up? Message. Meditate. Yeah, that's what I was doing before this reading. It's good to meditate. We can all learn about ourselves by meditating because it gives us power. Purification again. And that's what it does. Meditation can purify your thoughts a little bit. Just clear it out a bit so you're picking up on your ideas and divinely inspired ideas. Pleasure. And it can be a pleasure to meditate because it's a blessing to even be able to have the time to do it, really. We should all be having the time to do it, but sometimes life can be for some where they can't feel that they don't have time for pleasure. But it's important to make time for pleasure. Transmute negative things into things that are less negative and can be eventually worked around to be a positive. Flexibility, yes, you need to be flexible of your mind to be able to transmute things. To be able to transmute, you do need to be a flexible thinker. Yeah. Air energy, thinking, air. These are air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, air, about thoughts. So yeah, flexible thinking, magic, to get the magic in your life. So magic is about manifestation, really. Karmic path, there you go, because it's about manifesting being aware of our karmic path, being understanding about what karma is. Educate yourself on karma, guys. Educate yourself on karma and see where things land with you. Because karma and time, it's like the universe doesn't have time like 3 o'clock, 3:25. It knows we do, so it accommodates us. But its time system is kind of more like a karmic path. So you understand this time, sand going through it, right? Learn about this time here, because that's a time system too. It has a kind of a principle to it. But forgiveness is one of these things that lands on karmic paths because that's how we grow. And we have guides. How do we know where we're going on this karmic path? Good question. Ask the guides. Ask your guides. And this is about being psychic as well. Like, you don't have to do it on your own. Literally, you can have a guide, but I mean, it might be a guide that only you see or only you hear, and you've got to be cool with that. And that takes time. That's a change. That's a change. That takes courage to say, you know what, I'm going to start not holding back about things. I get messages that are positive for me from the other ethers of beyond the 3D. It helps me, and I know it can help other people. That takes courage to step out, to do something like this, for example. I'm a classically trained therapist. I wouldn't bring this out in front of a client, and because there would be like people saying, "Oh, you're pushing your spiritual beliefs on someone." But yeah, I have my own beliefs and understandings of things, but I don't get to express it necessarily in a typical session. This would come out if a client who knew I'd done this, which you can check out my website www.umewetherapy.com, and if they knew and they wanted that, they would ask for it. I would do that, but this is something that I put aside and deal with generic therapy. I don't mean generic as in it's a less than, because generic therapy is perfectly fine. But this is a different type of working. So guides and psychic abilities are things we all have, but very rarely do some of us get to implement it in the actual day-to-day job we're doing. It takes courage then to be like, you know what, I'm going to try and make a difference here, and I'm going to live a life where I'm doing me, completely me. I'll get paid for it, rather than trying to squeeze myself into another job description that's not quite me, but I get paid for it. I would like to get paid being me, thank you. Trust and believe. Trust the path. Shift, and that's how you'll create a shift. A shift in timelines. Timelines can be shifted with the way we think. Love. Oh, I love this card, because in the back you can't see it. It's got just the in the foreground you see these flowers, but in the background the picture goes way back into the depths, and this is what love is about, the depths, the loves. You do it for the love of something, for the love of your life, being you, for the love of your life, not another person. For your love of your own life, you can build the life you want to live. This is what I'm saying. We can build a positive version of ourselves for the love of our own lives, and in that we'll then attract the love of lives, the love of your lives, your soul tribe. Focus, but it does take focus. Spiritual cleansing. Okay, for some maybe they need to do some spiritual cleansing, smudging, burn some Palo Santo, do some meditation, put some salt in a bath, like a salt bath. You can put some lemongrass in a salt bath as well, and have a little soak in that or rinse over that. Say something positive over some water, drink it, cleanse yourself with the water. Spiritual cleansing. That's important for somebody. Number 50, veiled. Okay, so behind the veil. Perhaps this is about keeping it private until you've gone through your cleansing. Veiled. Potential. This is like power as well. There's potential on this path. There's potential when you forgive. There's potential for your own path, for yourself, the healing of yourself, the potential that can come from forgiveness. To release the tension of the energy offender. People who have offended our energies, at some point, a choice may have to be made. It may have to be made. Consider, there's a choice needs to be made about releasing somebody that we're holding a grudge onto. Thriving are you thriving? Are you hanging on to anything that's preventing thriving? Because the goal is to thrive. Relaxation, and the goal is to relax as well. It's about finding a position in our lives, and it's not easy. It takes courage to step out into who you are, to find a place where you can relax in that space and live a new life. A new life. The death. Look at that. Wow. Spirit, thank you for that guidance. A new life. And then the next card was death. Before the death came along, you were giving a new life. Do you see how you're loved by the universe? You were not removed without a contingency. An opportunity for a new life came, and then the one that you were on died out. But you're already on track to a new one. And you see the colours, red and blue. It's just like this deck that I'm using here. Red and blue. You see? I feel like this is a crux point of this reading where actually, death is about releasing. It's the end for a new beginning. It's the end for a new life. Openness, being open. And this has got pictures of the galaxies. I like to think of this as being open-minded to more than beyond what you can see from your physical eyes. There's more going on. Being open-minded when you enter into your new life. Patience, because it took patience to get here. So it's needed, and now you can, patience is what can be appreciated. Gratitude for your patience. Shadow, because you've done the shadow work. You're working on your shadow. You're fighting. No. You're observing the things in your shadow that needed attention so they can release and take you on to a new life. Nature spirits, get out into nature, be grounded around the earth, trees, the beach. If you can swim in the sea, if you can, just be out in a park. And when I say the sea, like a clean one that you're happy to swim in. Stillness. And this is like the card that I pulled out earlier to do with solitude. And patience is coming up for me with regards to stillness. Stillness is when you know there's more going on beneath the surface, but it's not the time. But this to me is reading like patience. You've been patient. You've experienced stillness. You are experienced in that. There's things coming for you now. That's taking you on a different path. Perhaps the stillness is lifting. Opportunities. For opportunities to come in. New ones. Prepare yourself for new opportunities, guys. Because miracles are coming. This is what an opportunity is. You prepare yourself for miracles. Is by preparing yourself for opportunities. Be prepped for opportunities. It's going to be a delight. Something real sweet. The truth. We want this to be the truth. This is someone's story. Embracing as well. I think it's about embracing psychic gifts. Embracing them, Don't shun them away. They're a gift. Wisdom, because they give you wisdom. You've got data, then more data to work with, and it's for your highest good because you flow. When you're in your flow state, have you heard of the flow states to do with alpha and beta brainwaves? We have a flow state when you are at home, perhaps somebody needs to, because I found more of my flow state when I started working at home. When the commute for me had changed in my life, and now I was working at home, and I've remained working at home since at home working agenda type thing happened, right? I've liked it. I've stayed more grounded. Fire, yeah, that's interesting. Fire is about power as well, control. It's about being able to be control of your fire. Fire gets things done. Standstill. When there's a standstill, fire gets things done. Happiness. That's what we are looking at for forgiveness, because ultimately we want to feel happy in life. Leadership, and sometimes it takes being a leader in stuff, and that can be an uncomfortable, courageous choice somebody has to make. Fulfillment. In order to be fulfilled, these are positive parts that we want to happen in our lives. Hit that like button, share and subscribe. Friendships are important. That reminds me of community, talking with friends, and the simplicity of things as well. Sometimes we can overthink things. Safe travels. This is, for me, picking up from here, is the journey that we're going on for somebody. Someone's going on about changing, stepping out and making a courageous change for themselves. The universe is granting them safe travels. For the security, they're secure. They're going to be secure in their safe travels. Yeah, so for energy offending, what I'm getting is it's about understanding what has offended our energy. And are we going to hold on to that as a grudge, or are we going to let it go? And if we're going to let it go, the beauty is that we have that choice. It should be somebody's choice. What's your life going to look like once you've let that go? And why were you holding on to it? Did something feel unjust? Has it had a chance to be rectified? Do you have a thought or a system in place of where to take the energy or how to balance out the scales? Are you still thinking that there's a scale that needs balancing out? What does letting go look like for you? For those who needed to hear this message, feel free to share it with another person who you think might need to hear this message. Hit the like button. Thank you for coming back. And I hope you can join me again when I do another one of, I don't know what to call this. And we haven't gotten into this, because this is what came up at the end, the solution to energy offending. The action that needs to be taken to ground yourself, put things into perspective, takes action. And when we have somebody who offends our energy, we can stay there offended, or we can take action to remove ourselves from the position of being offended. Whilst doing that, Spirit is suggesting that you remain grounded. Don't let it go to your head. Don't be hoity and think, oh, I'm so much better than you. I have the higher ground. I get to forgive because I'm more down the perfect path than you. You are less perfect. Because we all do things. We all have the capability of doing things that can offend somebody else's energy. We need to be mindful of our own path, how we live our lives, and need forgiveness for the things that we do. We would wish or hope or pray that another person would be so graceful to forgive us when we wanted it. I've always had this thought, though, about forgiveness, is that if somebody wants it, is it something that they should ask for? At the moment in my life, I'd say yes. That may change. It's changed before. But at the moment, I'd say yes. If somebody wants forgiveness, they can ask for it. And that's what sorry is. A sorry is a way of somebody apologizing, and in it is wrapped up the idea that forgiveness is going to come from it. But I do think it's good to be explicit and say something like, sorry, will you forgive me? I'd like your forgiveness. Yeah, the more explicit and direct you can be about it shows how serious you are about it, wanting the forgiveness, I guess, you know what I mean? So action, stay grounded. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a lovely day. You take care.